People. Que pasa, suck, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. First thing that is popping in the news, it is based on a report that was put out by INDECOM, and it shows year 2010 to year 2022. They did a study about extrajudicial KILLINGS by the PO and members of the JDF, so therefore JCF and JDF. They realize that there are between 14 to 16 officers that are responsible for most of the extrajudicial takeaway by the PO or JDF between that span of 12 years, 2010 to 2022. However, there are two particular cops, and people, with these two particular cops, they did not give their name. They titled them as Cop A and Cop B. As it pertains to Cop A, he had 22 SHOOTING incidents. In those 22 incidents in that 12 year, at least half of those persons did not make it. As it pertains to Cop B, he had 28 SHOOTING incidents in those 12 years. Of those 28 incidents, 28 people lost their life. People, I am going to give you the breakdown. If you look at your screen, I am not the one that is making this up. So this is the breakdown for Cop A. 2010, 2 incidents. 2013, 1 incident. 2015, 2. 2016, 1. 2017, 1. 2018, 1. 2020, 8. That jump up. 2021, 4. 2022, 2. That comes up to a whopping 22. Cop B, 2010, 1. 2012, 1. 2013, 4. 2015, 2. 2017, 2. 2018, 4. 2020, 10. Whopping rise. 2021, 3. 2022, 1. Whopping 28 total. Now, people, here is the wickedest thing of everything, is that these persons and 14 other people, they are responsible for 80% of those SHOOTINGS in that 12-year span. So therefore, some clinical psychologists, based on the reports, and also JFJ, Jamaicans for Justice, they are saying, they are claiming that it is disproportionate the amount of officers that are involved in all of these SHOOTINGS. And two particular one, Cop A and Cop B. Now, people, like I said, this is based on a report that was done by INDECOM. You have a clinical psychologist. You have Jamaicans for Justice giving their views. Jamaicans for Justice have an agenda. Their agenda is supposed to be human rights. It's supposed to make sure that Jamaicans are not taken out unjustly at the hands of our security force, whether it is JDF or JCF. So therefore, they are doing what their title entails. The same thing for the JCF, the JDF. They are there to protect, serve and protect. Now, people, you and I know that Jamaica is no sort of normal place. So therefore, we are speaking about harsh working conditions for these PO, even though they are supposed to be professional. So therefore, they are there to render justice. however, unusual circumstances. And like the saying goes, desperate times calls for desperate measures. You and I know that these criminals out there is a lack of fear, there's a lack of respect for the living, or the DEAD. Any and everybody, including you and I, are equal opportunity targets. So I say this to say that is why most legal, law-abiding, tax-paying citizen, sensible persons in Jamaica, they are advocating for a tough crime fighter such as Renita Adams and the likes of the Trinity and such to be the new commissioner. Because these gunmen realize these gunmen have zero fear for the normal po-po. So therefore, that is why the JCF, the JDF, they use the tactics of what we call no-nonsense po-po. Whenever these people drive up them Jeep in these gritty, volatile communities, they get a different type of reaction than if the average po-po roll up on the spot. These criminals, these gunmen know, say, listen, when them people are pull up, they are not here to play. So therefore, if you play PUSSY, you are going to get FUCK. You are going to lose your life in a jiffy. So therefore, that is why they use what we call the no-nonsense po-po. And I understand that sometimes they might get carried away. Sometimes persons are going to lose their life. Persons are going to get caught up. However, people, this is a double AR in a Jamaica, good versus evil. Now, people, I don't want to be misunderstood or what I am saying taken out of context. Because it is sad whenever any sorts of innocent person or people lose them life. If it's even one, it is too much. However, whenever you are in any sorts of double AR, there are always going to be casualties. However, there has to be some sorts of balance strike. So I am just saying, if you're going to use these no-nonsense cops, po-po, you need body cam. You need for them to act in a very professional way. You need to analyze all those SHOOTINGS in the past 12 years on a case-by-case or SHOOTING by rate basis. See if there's an unusual or something is suspicious in the way that they act. Did these people actually go from being a no-nonsense cop to being some sorts of rogue? Have a thirst for BLOOD, that they're actually taking away too many innocent persons? Is it disproportionate? I am speaking about the extrajudicial takeaway versus persons that are actually guilty. May I talk about suspect, may I talk about gunman, may I talk about Dan. So therefore, the JCF, the JDF, the Commissioner of po-po, they need to do their due diligence. They need to put the proper protocols into play. So therefore, there won't be so many question signs. JFF, Jamaicans for Justice, and these clinical psychologists that are supposedly actually just doing their jobs. That is where people like those come in to strike some sorts of balance. However, the normal average Jamaican like you and I, we have no sorts of problem if this is what it takes. These no-nonsense po-po to go in, do the job, eradicate, Began and Pyro, those persons that need to go. However, like them say, they have been all sorts of advocating for the body cam. Why is it that we don't have body cam in these extreme circumstances? That would take away most of the questions, even though, in my estimation, even if some of these popo went on any sorts of mission and anybody lost their life, questionably, controversially, any sorts of question sign, those body cams would have been turned off for some reason or the other. So people, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that we need these special popo, meaning no nonsense popo, to stop all this nonsense that is going on in Jamaica? So people, before I go, this is my recommendation. This is based on conversations that I've had with popo. Some of those same popo in which persons would say are controversial. In a lot of cases, they give these people warning. Them warn them once. Them warn them twice. Them tell them, don't make me catch you again. Because even if me catch you and you not do nothing, you are going to pay for your deeds in the past. So therefore, these persons have been warned. They have gotten 1, 2, 3, many warning. However, them not take heed. They do not realize or do not change until it is too late. Until it is time for them to pay the piper. So again, do not mix up in a dirty bungle. Do not be caught in bad company doing anything bad or anything questionable or controversial, or else you would have lost your will to live. You would have burned your bridges, literally. You would have given away your life. Not because what you did on the day when them catch you, but what you did in the past. That is how it goes. So therefore, he who knows the rule, abide by the rule, or else you are going to suffer the consequences. You know exactly what that means. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called, "It is not everything is what it seems to be." You cannot trust people. Persons are good actors. Persons are good pretender. Now, I am speaking about an incident that occurred at the China Harbor Engineering Company facilities, that is off Mandela Highway, where 2 security guards, they were found taking out ASSASSINATION style. One of them was found in his trunk, the next one in some bushes upon the compound. Persons were concerned because there was an ex-security officer and he was missing for a little while, maybe about 24 hours a day or so. However, that security guard eventually turned up at the Popo station. When he came to the Popo station, the Popo were very concerned along with his co-workers, investigators, the detective that is trying to solve this case. They were happy to see that he was in good physical condition. He did not have any sorts of injuries, life-threatening. He did not have any sorts of holes in his head from that of some sorts of pie. So therefore, people were happy to see him. At first, they thought that, wow, this man is lucky to be alive. We are glad that at least one person that was a victim could have been also taken out. At least that person can give his story. The detectives, they were sympathetic along with most Jamaican. We thought that at least we have some sorts of answers because the 2 other people, like me say, DEAD, men tell no sorts of tale. Them not have nothing else to say. However, people, it seems as if there is a twist and turn in all of this. This man, who they thought was a victim and lucky to be alive, this man apparently might have had. This man is now not just a victim, However, a person of interest, or should I say a suspect. And people, this is based on information that I got. This is not in the newspaper. So therefore, if you hear anybody else with it, you know which part them get it from. It is said that based on the questioning and based on his answer, they were not very consistent with the truth. Something in a something. When he was asked, how is it or why did you let in somebody on the premises, or how did somebody get on the premises or a gate that was locked? His question or his answer to the question did not make any sort of sense. So therefore, immediately the persons doing the interview knew that something is wrong, something is shaky, something in a something. Now people, when I did my video yesterday, I said that, listen, there's going to be two things that are possible. Either this man is a disgruntled worker. However, if he was, why didn't he or why wouldn't he? Wouldn't the person, I am not going to recommend that him take with the boss. Me I talk about the infrastructure boss. Me just say, that would be the person that he's going to most likely try to take away. However, I was not thinking deep enough that maybe him have a problem with his co-workers. Maybe the co-worker them I tell the boss something about him. So therefore, him decide to get back at the co-worker in the wee hours of the night when everybody are asleep. And then he was going to try to come up with some sorts of story. Some sorts of cock and bull and Nancy and brother Tukuman story. However, people like them say, there is nothing such as a perfect crime. There are always going to be holes in all sorts of flaky incident in which people lose their life. It is either these criminals thought that they were smarter than the system. These criminals thought that them can buck the system. These criminals did not think it all the way through. So therefore, these persons that are supposed to be trained as investigators, whenever you tell them anything that don't sound right based on the physical evidence, they are going to more than likely put 2 and 2 together, and it is not going to come up to 22 or 4. It will come up to about 5 or 7 or 9. It not going to make no sorts of sense. So people like me say, this is preliminary so far. The person that we thought could have been the third person that lost his life, and we were sympathetic for him, he might not be as innocent as we think. That is the moral of the story. Point blank and period. So people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos straight to the point, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, word to the wise. Whenever you are rising in life, there's always going to be a set of vipers. They see your potential. They realize that your ceiling is in the stratosphere. When they look at themselves because of their insecurity, because of their hate, because they realize that persons appreciate them for who they pretend to be, which is not who they actually are. For them to feel as if they are up, they're going to do everything within their means to bring you down. Point blank and period.